particular role in the society and the economy are. So that's what I'm finding as I travel around, is this real pent-up desire on the part of people to be, involved in helping to chart the course of the country and to be part of something bigger than themselves.
Well, and the thing is, we've been through so much as a country, and a lot of it not good. We had the Clinton Wars, as you know very well, for 8 years. We're going to have 8 years of the Bush Wars. It doesn't matter who's to blame. We have been okay, I'll take blame, part blame for the Clinton Wars. 95, 96, not my best years. But there has been such a division in this country. I really do think people are exhausted, and they're looking for a president that can unite the country. Take, for instance, gas prices. It doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent. You look at these gas prices, and you've got to ask yourself, why have we as a country allowed ourselves to be held hostage to some very unstable countries and export oil, like Iran? I mean, don't you think there are so many issues like gas prices, like alternative fuels, that, again, Republicans may have rolled their eyes about in 1992 or 1993, but now makes a lot of sense for all Americans for us to get smart on an alternative energy policy?
Well, that's what I'm finding. And, take gas prices. They're now up on average around the country $3 and going up according to the projections. And there are short-term, medium-term, long-term solutions to this. But we just haven't been organized or led in the right way recently. And I think that there is this yearning on the part of people. When I got to the Senate, there were, many people who were surprised I got there and, kind of unhappy that I did, and then wondering whether I would work with people across the aisle. And, I come at this from a very, results-oriented perspective. I think my job, being in public life, is to help people make the most of their own lives. Try to provide the tools that people then can be responsible in using to, have a better future for themselves and their kids. I worked with people that, some folks thought I'd never talk to, and we found common ground. And I think if I can find common ground with people who were so, vitriolic during the 90s, who are now saying, look, we got to put this aside. This has been a diversion in America's, forward movement. We can do better. Let's figure out. We may have some disagreements about the path to take to alternative fuels and create I would argue, a strategic energy fund like an Apollo project that really puts our best minds to work on it. We may have some differences about how to do global climate change or universal health care or try to make college affordable again, all the things people talk to me about as I travel around. But for goodness sakes, let's set some goals again as a country. When I ask people, what do you think the goals of America are today, we don't have any idea. We don't know what we're trying to achieve. And I think in a life or in a country, you've got to have some goals, and I think we can do this again. So I'm actually very excited by what I'm finding as I talk with folks.
Well, we're very excited to have you here. And also, let me just say, people we've been talking to this week that have talked about you said, like, for instance, Trent Lott said he was very surprised that you kept your head down, you worked very hard. Again, a lot of people that probably said some very nasty things about you in the 1990s, extraordinarily impressed with the type of leadership you've provided since you've been in the Senate, how you have been a unifying force. And we want to thank you. And, of course, who was it? Was it General McCaffrey that said, General McCaffrey, I think, said, or maybe it was Joe Klein, who said that he had asked a general, is there anybody in the United States Senate that understands the way you think? And the general looked at him and said, you mean other than Senator Clinton? And again, that has to do with keeping your head down and working hard and being a very unifying force. And we thank you for being with us. And I apologize for anything I've ever said that may have been unkind about you or the president and wasn't really serious about that whole impeachment thing. It was Willie Geist who had recommended I did that.
And, Joe, I apologize to you if I've gotten you in trouble for Mother's Day.
Well, I'm not so concerned about the Mother's Day thing, but you have outed me about the fact I've had more plastic surgery since I've been on TV than Michael Jackson. That's okay. I'm going to have to...
That's great, Joe. You absolutely look great.
Well, thank you so much. It's yoga. Thank you so much. Senator Hillary Clinton, greatly appreciate you being with us. And that really is the most... I think impressive thing about her political career is the fact, again, she was under the shadow, and if your husband's the president of the United States, you're going to be under the shadow of a guy, especially like Bill Clinton. the second that she's been her own person, and it's been her record that she's had to run on, she's seen as a unifying force. And I think it's going to come back, it's going to pay off in spades as we move forward through this election year. We will be right back. Courtney Hazlett, John Ridley, Willie Geist, and, of course, the man that all of America can unite behind, Kinky Friedman.
If you hire